Shalom, shalom, shalom. My name is Officer Kayadwan out of I.S.U.P.K, Jamaica. I.S.U.P.K started 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. I.S.U.P.K is run by Commanding General YAHANNA, the one man with the rank and the authority to lead Israel at this time. I say Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Barakatam to my brothers. Yahweh Shamar Alatan Ba'asham Yahweh to my sisters. All right. So we're going to talk about, you know what I mean, Jamaica getting disrespected by Canada. You know what I mean? The Independence Day celebration. Canada promised to unveil the colors of the Jamaican flag, you know what I mean? And when Jamaican people in Canada went to, you know what I mean, wanted to partake in the celebration, went to Niagara Falls because they said that it would be unveiled, you know what I mean, at Niagara Falls. So, you know what I mean, Jamaican people who live in Canada, who work in Canada, who, you know what I mean, miss them home, miss Jamaica. See? Them drive, you know what I mean, miles to go witness this, you know what I mean, to celebrate their independence along with the island, seeing that Canada will now give them the opportunity to, you know what I mean, experience their country's independence, their so-called Independence Day celebrations. Eh? But what happened is when they reach and they are there for hours upon hours, you know what I mean, no Jamaican flag. So we have to touch upon that story there. As well, we have to touch upon the story of the house bombings in West Kingston. You understand? And as the title suggests, we treat each other how the oppressor treat us. You understand? Because these house bombings that you see in Kingston, you know what I mean, this would normally be done to us by the oppressor back in the days, back in, you know what I mean, in pre-slavery time and during slavery time and during times, you know what I mean, shortly after slavery and different time. We know about lynching that take place in the United States. Lynching also took place here in Jamaica as well. Hangings and all them things. You know what I mean? Downright persecution. You know what I mean? This what is happening in West Kingston right now with the house bombing and them things there is basically we persecuting each other. You understand? And we learn that from the oppressor. You understand? We're gonna jump in at that too. You understand? So tonight is our Tuesday night Brotherhood class. So you know what I mean? We teach the children of Israel to live brotherly with each other. You understand? Yeah, man, that is what we do. We teach the children of Israel to, you know what I mean, to put aside the wedge that was put between us as a people by different factors, you know what I mean, systems that the oppressor put in place, you know? So we try to, you know what I mean, not try to, you know, that is what we do in the I.S.U.P.K and the Commanding General YAHANNA. We, you know what I mean, we get Israel to put aside their differences and come together because we have a common enemy, and that enemy is the oppressor. You understand? The enemy is the oppressor who enslaved us and the other nations that, you know what I mean, get rich off us. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, we remain poor in the garrison, the same garrison that we burn each other out of, burn down the little board structure. You understand that we live in? And need a poor man like ourselves of our brothers. We will touch upon that as well. And we are going to show you more evidence that we are the Israelites. Of course, you know, we have to go, you know what I mean, reiterate some of them as well. You understand? We are going to reiterate some of them because it is necessary. You understand? Until our people get it through them skulls. Say, yo, we are the Israelites. You know what I mean? We are the Israelites. No doubt about it. You know what I mean? It is amazing that we even have to come and say it, because can you imagine a people not knowing who they are? You can imagine a people up on the earth and don't know who them is. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, we are such a people. You know what I mean? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You know what I mean? who suffer oppression at the same time turn out to be the same people. You understand? Turn out to be, you know what I mean, the best people on the face of the earth, the chosen people of the Most High. You understand? So I'll jump in on that as well. Remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, also leave your comments. All right, so I'll jump to the first story, and that is the Independence Day story. And it said, this is a Gleaner article, and it said, Niagara Falls heartbreak as Bolivian colors rankle Jamaican expats. All right, so Bolivia, you know what I mean, a South American country, also celebrates their independence the same day as Jamaica. You understand? So they were also celebrating their independence. Of course, Bolivia is, you know what I mean, also an Israelite country, a country of our Northern Kingdom brothers. You know what I mean? I think those would be like the Taino Indians, you know what I mean, which are the 12, which are the 10 tribes in Northern Kingdom. You understand? Those are our brothers. You understand? According to history and archaeology. We have to bring out that today, you know. I'll show you that today as well. But for now, you know what I mean? This is not to put a wedge between Bolivia and Jamaica. Bolivians are our brothers. But what the Jamaicans living in Canada went to see was their flag. Of course, we know that Jamaica did not get real independence. I doubt Bolivia, you know what I mean? As a matter of fact, I have to tell you straight, Bolivia is neither independent, neither. You understand? Our people in Bolivia still suffer under, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Under oppression same way. So independence, you know what I mean? Neither of the countries them have real independence. You understand? However, you know what I mean, to the best of the knowledge that our people have them, they went to, you know what I mean, feel, you know what I mean, the so-called pride of being Jamaican. You know what I mean? And they were disappointed. See, Jamaica expatriates in Canada who showed up with high hopes of witnessing the fanfare of Niagara Falls being lit in the colors of the island's national flag on Independence Day, said they were left disappointed. We continue reading. Citing an advertisement that the falls would bear the black, green, and gold between 10 p.m. and 10:15 p.m. Saturday, the Jamaicans were stunned when they saw it lit with red, yellow, and green, the color of Bolivia. Right, so instead of seeing, you know what I mean, the red, you know what I mean, the black, green, and gold, they saw red, gold, and green. You know what I mean? The South American nation also recognized its independence on the same date. Scores of Jamaicans decked in national colors not only visited the venue, but booked hotel stays overnight because, you know, Canada big, you know. So many of them had to leave from, you know what I mean, different states in Canada. You know what I mean? And the journey would be too long for them try and go back home the same day. So them just book hotels, which cost them a lot of money. See? While around 30,000 people gathered at the National Stadium in Kingston to enjoy the independent Grand Gala Saturday night, so too did many Jamaicans turn out 4,873 kilometers away at Niagara Falls, right? So they wanted to celebrate Independence Day concurrent with, you know what I mean, what the island was celebrating. Let me continue reading. Rashti Q. Harrison, a Jamaican native now living in Canada, was among those miffed by the perceived slight. The Jamaicans were so disappointed they didn't show the Jamaican colors any at all. So many Jamaicans showed up for foolishness. People take the day off to be there and even book hotels, Harrison said in a Gleaner interview. So, you know what I mean? People even take the day off from work to go out and, you know what I mean, enjoy them celebration. Bear in mind, they were notified that Niagara Falls would be depicting the Jamaican colors. So these people would have never met the journey if, you know what I mean, this wasn't, you know what I mean, the case. But after they make the journey, you know what happened? Them get disrespected by the Canadian government, which is a disrespect to Jamaica as a country. You know what I mean? Which we know where the hatred is coming from. The hatred is coming from the oppressor to the people, the descendants of the slaves here in Jamaica. You understand? Let me continue reading though. Describing it as an embarrassment, Harrison was upset that the lighting show featured Rastaman color. All right, and this is another thing. You see? And we as a people, we need faith. You know what I mean? We need faith rise above this mentality as to how we are portrayed in the eyes of others. We need to have some level of, you know what I mean, respect for ourselves as to how we are depicted, right? So, because red, green, and gold is the Rastaman color, you know what I mean? It might just be that the Canadian government just decides, all right, here we're seeing that Bolivian, you know what I mean, is red, gold, and green, and Jamaica love to portray the Rastaman color so much. Let us not show them, you know what I mean, the full respect of giving them, you know what I mean, their flag separately. Let's just blend the Rastaman color into, you know what I mean, into the Bolivian color, which is the same color, and everybody will be happy. You know what I mean? Isn't Jamaica, you know what I mean, the land of reggae music, which is Rastafari music? Isn't that what they are all about? Let's just give them the Rasta color. You know what I mean? Surely they will be happy because them hold it as if it's their color, when in fact, you know what I mean, the Rastafari religion is really depicting the Ethiopian flag as their color, which is not Jamaican's flag color. You understand? It just might be that the Canadian government decides, all right, let me just lump Bolivia and the Jamaica love for the Rastafari color in one. You know what I mean? Showing no respect to us. You understand? Because all we are seen as entertainers, reggae entertainers, we are known for reggae music, which is not a bad thing, you know. It is not a bad thing that we are known for reggae music or we are known for track and field, but we are not known for anything that would garner any real respect. You understand? A runner doesn't garner real respect, you know. You understand? A man that runs fast. It's not, you know what I mean? You are amazed by his speed, but you're not really look at him, you don't really look at him like somebody to be really respected. All he do is run. A man that create music, and that is what you know him for. You don't respect him as a, you know what I mean, as a leader or somebody with power. You see him as an entertainer. You understand? So if we are only known for running and music, entertainment, then you have to see the reflection in that in how people treat us. You understand? They will just see us like entertainers. You understand? All right, let me continue reading. The colors were that of Bolivia, who celebrated. All right, let me jump up. Ralston Chamberlain told the Gleaner, that based on a notification from the Jamaica consulate and an announcement at the Jamaica 60 launch in Canada, Jamaica drove for more than 2 hours to Niagara Falls for the spectacle. See, the colors were that of Bolivia, who celebrated their independence today as well. One Bolivian woman remarked, "Is Jamaica celebrating something? Why so many Jamaicans here dressed in the colors of the country? From the young to the elderly, Jamaicans of all backgrounds," Chamberlain said. You know what I mean? So the Bolivians were there as well. See? Ryan, another Jamaican, was among those who took the day off with his family. They had also made hotel reservation. He described the effort as a big waste of time and money. We stood there by the falls from 9:30 p.m. to 11 o'clock, and all no, we don't see the Jamaican color. It was on the schedule to be shown at 10 p.m., Ryan said. So, you know what I mean? This show you how much respect the Canadian government have for the Jamaican people, or the Canadians have for the Jamaican people. You understand? Remember, you know, Canada is the country of our oppressors, you know. You know what I mean? Don't look at Canada different from how you look at America. It's the same people occupy Canada, you know. You understand? And these people have not changed their perception of us. To them, we are them slaves. So it is a simple thing in for them eyes to just disrespect us, because we don't have no proper leadership that will hold them accountable. You know what I mean? Not one word from Andrew Holness, not one word from anybody. You understand? So far, you know what I mean? As far as where me know so far. See? Not one word. You know what I mean? Not one, way to call it now, demand for an apology. Because what? As far as Canada is concerned, them don't owe nobody no apology, because we are beneath them. You understand? And remember, you know, we are the people who, when they need workers to work, and you know what I mean, I go call it their plantations. Them always send for farm workers from Jamaica. Me no know of anywhere else so them send for farm workers. I'm sure them send to other places, but we are well known to be working on their plantations. You know what I mean? Feeding them, making them rich for the incentives that them give to our people, which, you know what I mean, many Jamaicans are gonna argue, say, well, them incentives there, it come true. You know what I mean? We are able to do a lot for ourselves, but we are providing a service. You know what I mean? The service that we provide is necessary. You understand? It's not like we are doing it for free. You understand? But the service that we provide can easily be mistaken as, you know what I mean, slave labor when you check it in the eyes of them, because guess what, go on? It's no different from, you know what I mean, chopping sugar cane. The only difference is you're getting paid for this, when in slavery, you know what I mean, you weren't getting paid when the British had us in slavery. You know what I mean? You weren't getting paid. It can be easily mistaken because the same people them. So them showing you no respect, you know what I mean, can just come from the same spirit. They say, oh, them people are, you know what I mean, we provide them the opportunity to come be with slaves. You know what I mean? We don't owe them nothing. Especially we in Jamaica as a people. We here in Jamaica, we don't condone many of them beliefs. You know what I mean? For one, the LGBT. You know what I mean? We don't condone that, so that can be a reason for them to decide that they're going to disrespect us. You understand? The other day, a diplomat, you know what I mean, came to Jamaica from Canada, and he had nothing but bad reports on Jamaica. Nothing but bad reports, bad things to say about Jamaica. When Jamaica roll out the red carpet for him, you know what I mean, put him in the biggest, you know what I mean, uptown residence with security, armed securities. You understand? Armed security. You know what I mean? And him still give a bad report. Too many people on the road. Like, you know what I mean? Some stupid remarks, like him up on the road and him see too much vehicle, and dumb remarks, as if him expect Jamaicans to be, you know what I mean, in bushes or something like that. You understand? So this is the mindset that the Canadians have about you. Don't feel like, say, boy, and when I say the Canadians, I talk about the oppressor in Canada. Of course, our brothers up there, you know what I mean, who are the natives of the land. You know what I mean? They are our brothers. They are who the Canadians came and destroyed and took that land. You understand? We not talk them our brother, the native Indians, them in Canada. We are talking about the oppressor who subjugated our brothers and now, you know what I mean, disrespecting us. You understand? Don't think that them view you in any kind of good light. You know what I mean? Them look upon you like you're a slave same way. You know what I mean? A similar service them call you for carry out, because what? All right, you know, feel like Canadians can do that work, the farm work, and we not speak out against farm work, you know. You know what I mean? No get it wrong. We not say farm work is a bad thing. But it's a thing where they are so wealthy that a job like that is beneath them. So you doing the job, you might be praising the Canadian government and saying that, well, you know what I mean, Canada is a good place because they provide this for we, you know what I mean, and we are able to make a, you know what I mean, a change in our life based off of the money we make on this farm work program and so forth and so forth, you see. But when you check it, a job where them reject. So if, you know what I mean, you are so happy to do the job, just know that the job is a rejected job by them, because guess what I go know? They are so wealthy that them not to do such job, them just hire the slaves to come do them job there. So you are considered slave, and that you need to understand. So me I say, you need to understand that, and don't think that these people are your friends. You know what I mean? The Bible did not call them your friends, it called them your enemies. You understand? So the lesson that we as Jamaicans should learn from this is that, you know what I mean? Instead of treating each other like garbage, instead of going to Canada, you know what I mean, get the opportunity to go to Canada and then come back and pop style on your brother here in Jamaica. Know that, you know what I mean, you going over there doing a little work, a little hustle. It is slavery. You know what I mean? And you're only doing it to survive. But know that you're amongst a set of people who don't love you and hate you. You know what I mean? And you should look back at your brothers in Jamaica and your sisters in Jamaica as being valuable and say, well, me know, say, them look down upon me, even though me in Canada, them look down upon me just the same as how them look down upon my brothers in Jamaica. Not because me get the opportunity to come up here, so. See? And we need to separate from them. I don't mean separate from them. You know what I mean? Don't do the farm work, you know, and that I mean, you know. You know what I mean? Separate from them customs. You know what I mean? Separate from them Christmas, from them Easter. You see what I say? Separate from them Valentine's Day and all these days that that go against the Most High and make the Most High punish us because their customs are not the customs that the Most High gave to the children of Israel. The children of Israel, which we are. You understand? Their customs are idolatry, embedded in idolatry. So we should put aside even them Christianity, which is an idolatrous religion, a plagiarism of the Bible, you know what I mean, drenched in idolatry. We should come out of the Christian church. We should stop celebrate them Christmas. Stop celebrate them Easter. Stop celebrate them Valentine's Day. And them and America's, you know what I mean, what I call it now, Thanksgiving. You know what I mean? We need to stop celebrate all of them things there and come back to the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. And know that these customs, you know what I mean, that them give to we, many of them have roots in our destruction. Christianity is rooted in our destruction. You know what I mean? Let me give you a more recent example. I'm going to give you, you know what I mean, the beginning. At the end of this class, we now get the beginning of all Christianity. You know what I mean? What was the motivation behind Christianity? The motivation of Christianity was, you know what I mean, the destruction of the children of Israel. You understand? But a more recent thing happened when, you know what I mean, the Catholic Church was, you know what I mean, so some unmarked grave was found of our native brothers and a Catholic Church, you know what I mean, compound, which the Catholic Church was infamous for the abuse, me attack sexual abuse, you know what I mean, of our native brothers and sisters, you know what I mean, and after abusing them because the goal was to get them culture out of them. That's why them send them to Catholic school. You know what I mean? Catholic school, that's what I should say. Which every Catholic school have a Catholic church. See? So them find bodies. You know what I mean? I forgot the figure, but a lot of bodies of dead native children, which they hid, murdered, and the parents need to hear from them again. You understand? Molested, murdered, and buried in shallow graves. And it's coming out. Our brothers in Canada brought it out, and Commanding General YAHANNA and the captains in the I.S.U.P.K brought it out. It came over the news as well. You understand? So Christianity is, you know what I mean, it is motivated by the murder of our people. So we need to separate from that. We need to stop calling ourselves Catholic. Stop calling ourselves Methodist. Stop calling ourselves, you know what I mean, Jehovah Witness and Seventh-day Adventist. And we need to come back to the last statutes and commandments in the Bible that the Most High gave to us, the children of Israel. You know what I mean? We need to gather together because we are not desired. This Independence Day celebration show us that them no desire we. You know what I mean? Just out of the blue, so, and call for. Them just disrespect us. You understand? And we don't have leaders that will hold them accountable. As far as them concerned, our leaders are in debt to them. As far as they are concerned, our leaders are subordinate to them. So how can these leaders that we have over us, who always begging and always, you know what I mean, kissing the ass of the oppressor, how can they lead us? That's why we tell you, say, the only leaders where we have, you know, in the I.S.U.P.K and the Commanding General YAHANNA. Because Commanding General YAHANNA will not kiss the ass of no oppressor. As a matter of fact, the oppressor will have to bow down and kiss Commanding General YAHANNA boot as the I.S.U.P.K when we go about in any city in the United States and even in Canada, the oppressor them bow down and kiss our boots. You understand? That is the I.S.U.P.K. We hold oppressors accountable. Your government, your JLP and your PMP, them not hold the oppressor accountable. The oppressor is able to use them to your destruction, and we are going to bring out that as well. You understand? We're going to jump to a book. We're going to jump to the book of Zephaniah 2:1. This is the book of Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 1, and it says, gather yourself together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired. So, you know what I mean? Zephaniah 2:1 I tell the nation that is not desired to gather together instead of seeking the love of these oppressors. Gather yourself together, come together as a people. You understand? Show each other love. You understand? Start valuing your brother and your sister here in Jamaica. Of course, we have differences amongst each other and thing, and you know what I mean? But just know, say, these are the people that, you know what I mean, you share a common history with. You know what I mean? Even the Jamaicans and the Bolivians. We share a common history. We should gather. We shouldn't use this as, you know what I mean, a wedge to put between us and the Bolivians. You understand? Jamaicans shouldn't start thinking evil against the Bolivians because the Bolivian flag was portrayed and the Jamaican flag was not portrayed. It might as well have been a scheme by the oppressor to put a wedge between we and the Bolivians, our brothers. You understand? It might as well have been. You never know the trickeries, you know what I mean? The same oppressor put a wedge between us here in Jamaica with the JLP and the PMP. You understand? The same oppressor, they have a history of putting wedges between the children of Israel. You understand? Which we have to jump to another story now. See? Remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and also leave your comments. You understand? We're going to jump to another story. We're going to jump to the story of the violence taking place in West Kingston right now. You understand? This is another Gleaner article. And it said, 30 homeless after Armageddon attack. So the attack that is going on in West Kingston, you know what I mean, that took place in West Kingston, the people them call it Armageddon. You know what I mean? Somewhat ironic because we are coming up against the time of Armageddon. You understand? Very soon. You understand? But it shouldn't be Armageddon where our people is concerned, where we are, you know what I mean, unleashing Armageddon on our own people. You understand? This is similar to what the oppressor did to us. You understand? Let me jump. I remember that word Armageddon. See? This article said the site of flattening tenement yards, the ground covered in soot, and the despondent faces of shell-shocked residents of central Kingston stirred the rage of Raytown Division Councillor Rosalie Hamilton. Days after the patriotic show of independence celebration, the grim reality of chronic violence began to sink in for low-income households in the capital. So days after, the patriotic celebration of independence, it is unveiled and shown that we are not really independent as a people. As a matter of fact, we live in a place where the people are, they live in a substandard way of life, not only conditions. We show you say they have not, evolved from slavery time. You understand? Because we were never independent. This wicked and evil system push us in a situation where, we have become, animals towards each other, barbaric towards each other. You understand? Let me continue reading. Zin. It said, days after the patriotic show of independence celebration, the grim reality of chronic violence began to sink in for low-income householders. In the capital, residents recounted a pre-dawn firebomb attack that ripped through the wood, brick, mortar, and zinc, transforming their homes into a furnace. Lambert Williams said he and others came under sustained gunfire, forcing them to abandon hopes of salvaging any possessions. He lost furniture, appliance, and cash, having only the merino and shirts he wore. So this brother lost everything. Zane. Williams said he was rattled as the tragedy unfolded. Me turn fool when me come out and see the fire, he said. Another resident compared the alleged fiery assault to Armageddon, citing the September 3rd, 2020 election as a trigger that set off a wave of unabated violence in the Kingston Central constituency. So, this resident basically said this has stemmed from 2020, and it at the election, will trigger off this tension that is now manifesting itself in such a rage right now. You understand? There's always some, as me say, the main divide that the oppressor put between us here in Jamaica is political. It is the JLP and the PMP. You understand? And even though today, many of the violence are not so much, political, you will find some that are. You understand? You will find enough, many that still are. You understand? And the ones that are not, learn it from the politics and the political gang warfare that Jamaica is known for. You understand? Let me continue reading. Hamilton lamented that crime was pushing more people further into poverty, with 30 residents now homeless after Monday arson attack. All right, I will say that the poverty push people further into crime and violence. You understand? It is the crime, it is the poverty as well as the divide that force, this kind of behavior. Them being taught by the political gang warfare in the past, being divided by politics, mixed with the conditions that, Because remember, tenement yard, and everybody know a tenement yard. Tenement yard full of be a poor housing. You understand? This is a poor people I get burned out right by other poor people. See? So it's the other way around and it cause poverty. All of them live in a poverty. Everybody, the one them where do the burning and the one them will get burned out, living in poverty already. So I know it a bring poverty. Poverty did dip on them long time. You know what I mean? Let me continue reading. The Council of 4 section of James Street and Smith Lane with first term Member of Parliament Donovan Williams, who declined to speak with journalists. This a breed poverty. Me sick of this. Are the solution me want hear about. What's going to happen to end all of this? It need to stop, she said. You know what I mean? So this councillor, you know what I mean? This councillor want to blame, you know what I mean, the crime for poverty, which is the other way around. It is the poverty that caused the crime and the political exploitation, you know what I mean, and division where them put between the people that cause, you know what I mean, the crime. But, you know what I mean, like the oppressor, our politicians would like to, you know what I mean, put the blame elsewhere. You understand? Blame the people for the problem when they are the cause of the problem. You understand? Let me continue reading. People's National Party caretaker for Kingston Central, Imani Duncan Price, visited the community and reiterated her request that the security net be widened to include spoilers. Talking about the Zozos, you know what I mean? Residents like Paula Oxford had to choose between saving property or preserving their lives as gunmen reportedly fired indiscriminately while they watched sections burn. Oxford, a mother of 5, said all her belongings, including recent purchased back-to-school supplies, have gone up in smoke. Not even a panty. My 5 kids back to school, burn out, Oxford said. Even as Oxford spoke to journalists, her 7-year-old daughter pulled on her shorts, uncertain of the future. Mommy, where is my grade 2 uniform? The girl said. 12 children and 8 elderly are among those gravely affected. The Kingston Central Police said they were summoned about 4:45 a.m. Ira Richards, 84, said Monday's blaze revived memories of his first house fire on Last Street in 1970. He cursed his luck, having rebuilt his life from the ashes more than half a century ago. Bed, fridge, stove, clothes, furniture, me lose. Couldn't save nothing because gunshot a fire. From your ear they shot them, you have to secure yourself. The slacker, the frail looking senior told the gleaner. Samantha Wilson, another affected resident, walked through the charred premises and showed her family overseas the scale of devastation via a video call. The mother of 2 lost everything, appliance and furniture, and is worried about the immediate academic future for her children. Nearby Parade Gardens has been under a zone of special operations since January. All right. So things like this we are make happen to our, you know what I mean? We are do to ourselves. You understand? But where we learn them things, you understand? Once upon a time, you know, it was the oppressor do them things to we, you know. Or it reach a point now where, you know what I mean, people did this to us in the past and now we are do the same thing to each other. You know what I mean? Is it that we are casting the blame for our sufferation upon each other? I really that go on, you know. The hatred that we should have for the oppressor because of what the oppressor did to us. We are now putting that hatred on each other. We are thinking that each other is our enemy. You know what I mean? Of course, like this article say, you know what I mean? This article say it stems from the 2020 tension, election tension, you know what I mean, at the time, and now it reached a boiling point. Enough cases, and even in this very case, even the 2020 case, could have been from, you know what I mean, simple dispute just never get resolved. You understand? Man and man have dispute and it just never got resolved. We don't have no kind of method where, you know what I mean, differences between us, you know what I mean, are resolved amicably. Simply because of what? The same political gang warfare and wedge that these political parties have put between us. You know what I mean? That the only way to solve our issues is to go up topside each other's head. You understand? Them teach the people the culture of violence, terrorism, practically in a rude boy. A terrorism, them teach the people, you know. Them teach the people terrorism because them want to, you know what I mean? Them want to win election. And this now, it a come to fruition now, it a mature now in a something where without, you know what I mean, it not necessarily have to be entirely about politics. In some cases, it not have to be about politics at all. And we unleash the same death and destruction upon each other. It all started, you know what I mean, when, you know, in the 70s. You understand? It all started back in the 70s, 1976 and 1980 election. Edward Seaga, Michael Manley, you know what I mean? Edward Seaga, you know what I mean, was linked to America, you know what I mean, and the CIA. You understand? Facts me I tell you, you know. See? And Michael Manley and the PMP was linked to the KGB. You understand? And Russia and well, Cuba is our brothers. So Cuba would more be a pawn to the Russians. Now we are seeing a conflict today, which is a whole conflict between Russia and America, and it is the same conflict we are seeing today between Ukraine and Russia, right? But Russia had one party. Then some might say, boy, well, the party wasn't really affiliated, but you know what I mean? Remember, you know, these are politicians, you know. You know what I mean? These are politicians. So you can't expect the truth from them. See? So the PMP was linked to Russia and the KGB, which the KGB would be Russia's CIA, right? And America wanted to institute capitalism in Jamaica, and they thought that the PMP, Michael Manley at the time, was moving towards communism. You understand? And especially they you know, that's what they say. That's what them say. The reason was, you understand, which might not even be the reason, which we know the white man is the devil. You understand? Them just probably just want to destroy, you know what I mean, the children of Israel here in Jamaica. You know what I mean? But Manley now connection with Cuba and respect for Fidel Castro, you know what I mean, was a no-no in the sight of America. So they used Edward Seaga, which was power hungry, who was probably, you know what I mean, I'm not saying this is facts. He was probably groomed by America, you know what I mean, to play the role. You understand? And him play the role, you know what I mean, to its highest, you know what I mean, destruction. Him play the role well. So because he wanted to win the election, what he did was, you know what I mean, with the help of the CIA, destabilize Jamaica by arming regular brothers in the poor communities, you understand, with M16s and other guns, and charging them to go out and create havoc. You know what I mean? We all know about the Eventide home where, you know what I mean, 150 something or 140 something old people were burned alive with the use of petroleum jelly, which petroleum jelly is an American, you know what I mean, is an American thing. And them trace it back to America, say America had a lot to do with this old folks home being burnt down. All of that happened in the same time period. Whole heap of looting and shooting and all them things, the destabilization, teaching the young men to be violent, as you see happening in West Kingston right now, where now people are being burnt out of them home. It's the same chicken come home for roost, you know, man. So them teach the violence from them time there. And them find themselves today, if they are trying to, you know what I mean, move away from that style of politics, which me personally don't think them even. Me still say, yo, them are do the same type of politics. That's what me say, but that's my personal thing. See? However, if them even like what them claim, that they are trying to move away from that type of politics, the seed done plant already. And the tree grow and mature and bear fruits, you know, to the extent where, you know what I mean, if they are not responsible for it, then the same result I go come, where people get burn out of them house. Because at that the youth them know, at that get passed down to them. You understand? That is what got passed down to them throughout the generations in the garrison. This style of, you know what I mean, dealing with conflict. If somebody disagree with you, you know what I mean, there's no method of you know what I mean, remedying the situation, but to go to resort to violence and kill your brother, kill your sister. You know what I mean? But the scripture did tell us that this will happen. You understand? The scripture did tell us that this will happen. This is as a result of the curses, you know what I mean, that would befall the children of Israel for breaking the Most High laws, statutes, and commandments. You see what I say? And this is a further proof to show who we are. You know what I mean? So, what we are going to do right now, we are going to jump to some scripture. We are going to jump to the book of Deuteronomy. See? Deuteronomy chapter 27 and verse 1. And this is what it said. And Moses with the elders of Israel commanded the people, saying, keep all the commandments which I command you this day. Right, so Moses gave our foreparents commandments that he received from the Most High and said, keep all these commandments that I command you this day. We jump to 28 and 1. This is what it said. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee and I above all the nations of the earth. So these laws, statutes, and commandments came with, you know what I mean? It came with reward. If we kept the Most High laws, then we would be rewarded as his people to be the greatest nation on the face of the earth. You know what I mean? That is what the Most High promised us. See, let me jump down to verse 15. Verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. So upon one hand, we would be rewarded or blessed by the Most High if we kept his laws and his statutes and commandments. But upon the next hand, curses would follow us. You understand? And as you look around, you can see that, you know what I mean, our people as a whole, we are cursed. You know what I mean? Everybody and their mother see say something wrong. You understand? Let me read. We're going to jump to verse 54. And this is one of the curses. And it said, verse 54, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil towards his brother, and towards the wife of his bosom, and towards the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. That's talking about when it said, the man that is tender among you, it's talking about the young men. His eyes shall be evil against his brother. That is what we are witnessing in today's time. The young men killing off each other. His eyes being evil against his brother. And even killing the sisters. You understand? Killing children. You know what I mean? Burning down entire homes where children live, where now those same children are homeless. You understand? The councillor say, boy, you know what I mean? The zones of special operations need to be expanded to include spoilers. I guess as spoilers and probably the community that burnt down in a war, or maybe it happened of spoilers. Them never really, them say Raytown, but Raytown is north of spoilers, see? South of spoilers, see? But they wanted to expand, you know what I mean, to spoilers. But no zone of special operation now go fix this problem with the Bible I tell you about. The only way we can solve this issue, this crime problem, and the Prime Minister need to contact the I.S.U.P.K and the Command in General, YAHANNA. If he is sincere that he want to stop this crime and violence, you know what I mean, and the bloodletting and the political warfare, if he don't want to continue the thing that his political party started, and we are not saying one is better than the next or worse than the next, we think both of them, you know what I mean, are destructive to the Jamaican people, to the blacks, you know what I mean, to the descendants of the slaves here in Jamaica. You know what I mean? But if the Prime Minister think that, you know what I mean, if the Prime Minister really sincere that him want to solve crime, him need to come to the I.S.U.P.K and the Command in General, YAHANNA. Him need to have a word, you know what I mean, with us. You understand? And learn what is the cause of the issue if him don't know already. Because our leaders, you know what I mean, are being revealed to be some really grimy individuals. You understand? Every day you find out how grimy them is. Some of them might as well know the issue and know the situation and don't even care. Or is a part of the problem seeking to destroy them own people. But if him sincere, he would find the I.S.U.P.K and learn the scripture and learn, say, boy, this is the problem with these people. These people are breaking the Most High laws. And as a result, them fall under you, the JLP and the PMP. You understand? And as a result, them divided. And unless them come back to the last statutes and commandments of the Most High, this are going to get worse and worse. That is what the Prime Minister need to do, come to the I.S.U.P.K to learn. You know what I mean? Like the kings of old had to do when they want to find out the state, you know what I mean, or the future pertaining to the nation. Them come to the prophets. You understand? And the prophet would give them, you know what I mean, proper instructions on what the Most High say to do. But if him no want to learn from the I.S.U.P.K, if him no want to learn the law, statutes and commandments, and if Jamaicans refuse to come and learn from Command in General and learn these laws, statutes and commandments, then Jamaica now no hope. You're going to see more of that. You're going to see whole heap more of that. You just see the beginning. And more likely, you're going to see more of that. And it's going to get worse and worse. You understand? But this is the issue. This is the issue. As a people, as the children of Israel, we turned our back on the Most High and broke his laws, statutes, and commandments. You understand? And as a result, we now have young men that hate them, brother. And will see, you know what I mean, no problem to just burn down an entire tenement yard and as it is burning, you know what I mean, fire be a gunshot, you know what I mean, because them learn it from the political leaders them. You understand? This is the problem. But the solution is to come back to the Most High law, statutes, and commandments. You understand? All right, watch this. We're going to jump to another scripture. We're going to jump to Deuteronomy 28 and Slakia. We're going to jump to, not Deuteronomy. We're going to jump to 2nd Esdras. 2nd Esdras chapter 15, Zin, and verse 10. Remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments. If you have questions, just leave the questions in the comment section. Zin? This is the book of 2nd Esdras chapter 15 and verse 10, and it says, behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. You know what I mean? And that is what, you know what I mean? That is what is happening. That is what happened in, you know what I mean, the 1976 and 80 elections. You know what I mean? The Most High people were led as a lamb to the slaughter. You understand? By the JLP and the PMP. And as a result, now them slaughter each other. You understand? Not knowing that they were being divided by the KGB and the CIA. They never know that. Them think them that vote and support them political leader. Them think them that support Edward Siaga. You understand? Them think them that support Michael Manley. But in fact, they were supporting, you know what I mean, Russia and United States, which are two oppressors. And that them that support. You understand? And as a result, like the scripture say, 2nd Esdras 15 and 10, behold, my people is led as a lamb, as a flock to the slaughter. But the Most High say, I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. We are in the land of Egypt. What is the land of Egypt? The land of Egypt is where we serve our captivity. The word Egypt means bondage or slavery. You understand? Let me show you what the Most High said would happen to us for breaking his laws. We're going to jump back to Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy 28 and verse 68. You know what I mean? We read Deuteronomy 28 and 1 a while ago. And then we read verse 15 and then we read verse 54. I'm going to read verse 68 and show you as it lay out the curses, the final curse that would happen to us is slavery. I'm going to show you what going on. See? This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 68. And this is what it says. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. Right, so the Egypt where 2nd Esdras talk about is this Egypt. So the Most High promised us that he would bring us into Egypt by the means of slave ships. Egypt means bondage, like when we say, Matazariam in the Hebrew, which is bondage. Right? So the Most High shall bring us into bondage, this time with ship. You remember what happened in the first Egypt? The first Egypt, we were brought, you know what I mean? We walked into Egypt. We never go into Egypt by the means of ships. We walk in Egypt. And as we multiplied in Egypt, the Egyptians then become, you know what I mean, envious of us. And put us in bondage, in slavery. And that is the reason why the name of the land was called Egypt. You understand? Now the Most High make we know say, look, Deuteronomy 28 and 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. So this Egypt where the Most High promised to bring us in, this Egypt is going to be, you know what I mean, done. We are going into this Egypt by the means of ships. Right? And if you do the history, we know that we were brought over here, our foreparents were brought over here by the means of cargo slave ships. You understand? Them took us from the west coast of Africa. You understand? Them took the children of Israel from the west coast of Africa, round us up in ships, and brought us over here to be in bondage or to be in Egypt. You understand? Let me continue reading. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. So the Most High show you say, you see the promised land, the land of Canaan, the land flowing with milk and honey. that is now leading the children of Israel to, at this time, when this was written, you shall see it no more again. You shall see your homeland that you are now going to occupy. So the most of basically give you a warning, you know. You must say, look, we are going to give this big, beautiful land. But you see, if you break my law, you see the same land that we are telling about, we're not going to live in it for years and not going to love it, we're not going to see it again. We're going to send you in a slavery by the means of ships. You understand? And here we are now in ship. We came over here in slavery by the means of ships. See the slavery here. And when we learn over here, so we learn political and gang warfare. You know what I mean? And the other curses that apply. So not only did the curse of slavery happen to us, but the curse of we burning each other out of houses, burn down each other houses and shooting each other, murdering each other. That also came to fruition as well. All of these curses that it lists happened to us, you know. Every single one. None of them fail. You understand? And that's why we tell our people, say the only way we can solve crime and violence here in Jamaica is to come back to the last statutes and commandments of the Most High. There is no other way. No amount of zozo, you know what I mean, are extending the zozo to spoilers, like the articles say the Member of Parliament suggested. That now go fix it. That can't fix it. But we should be happy in this. When we read 2nd Esdras a while ago, let me jump back to it. See in 2nd Esdras chapter 15 and 10. See, it said, behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. If we give thanks for that, because the Most High promise we know, say, look, him now gonna make we stay in the land of Egypt. You understand? Him now gonna make we stay in the land of Egypt. So, see him like how he took us out of the previous land of Egypt. He gonna take us out of this Egypt. And that is the message of the I.S.U.P.K. The kingdom of heaven is forwarding. You understand? That is the kingdom of heaven, you know. When we rule this earth, you know, when the oppressor fall and we are no longer in this Egypt or this bondage. And we now get to rule the earth. That is the kingdom of heaven. We feel glad for that. You understand? We have some more scripture though. Now I'll jump to the book of Deuteronomy chapter 17 and 5. Remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and also leave your comments. If you have a question, just type it in the comment section. See? This is Deuteronomy chapter 17 and 5. Then shalt thou bring forth that man. Slakia. Deuteronomy 17 and 5. 1 second. Let me find it. One second. Deuteronomy 17 and 15. And it said, this is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 17 and verse 15. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Lord thy God shall choose. All right. Why am I bring out this now? The reason why I bring out this is concerning the two political parties that rule over Jamaicans. You understand? And you might say, well, Andrew Holness, you know what I mean, he might want away. So why this apply? Let me explain. The founders of those two parties. All right, let me go back a bit. Jamaica was first, you know what I mean, pillaged by the Spaniards, which are oppressors, which are not our people, which kill off our native brothers, slaughter them, slaughter the Arawak and the Taino Indians here in Jamaica. See? Then the British came and them beat up the Spaniards. The Spaniards are their brothers, but they are still, the British are not our brothers. And they rule over us. Them, the Spanish first brought us over here, see, from 1509 Zin, from the west coast of Africa, because some Franciscan friar thought that it was better to enslave, you know what I mean, the southern kingdom as opposed to the northern kingdom. You understand? Because while he was over here, him see that, him see all the massacre that happened to our brothers. So him think that him have a conscience now. Him decide, so let we enslave we, or make him enslave we. See? And them send for we over the west coast of Africa. Send for the other three tribes. See? In 1905, in 1505, Slovakia. You know what I mean? And then the British came and continued the same thing. And they ruled over us. Fast forward to the 19th century now. Or to the, what you call it, the 20th century. Yeah, one of them. See? Where politics now become a thing. And Jamaica get is not so much under, well, still under Britain, but now you have a man like Marcus Garvey come to the forefront. And he started the first political party in Jamaica. A black man, one of us. So for the first time, we would have a black leader. You understand? And we would have been obeying this that I am reading right now. Let me read that again. See? Deuteronomy 17 and 6 and 15. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Lord thy God shall choose, one from among thy brethren. You understand? So, if Marcus Garvey political party was successful, nothing would wrong with that. Of course, Marcus Garvey did not have the truth. You know what I mean? And he would have probably been a poor king over us. See? But at least he would have been following the word of the Most High, saying that one of our brethren should be over us. But what happened? Let me tell you what happened. Michael Manley and Alexander Bustamante, the founders of the JLP and the PMP, they fight out Marcus Garvey. You understand? And then these two devils, Alexander Bustamante and Norman Manley. Let me make sure I say it correctly. Not Michael Manley, Norman Manley. So Norman Manley and Alexander Bustamante, them fight out Marcus Garvey, and them start the two political parties that now rule over Jamaica. The two political parties that divide Jamaica. And bear in mind, Norman Manley and Bustamante, they are cousins, them are family. And them lineage go back to Britain. The same Britain who enslaved us. And these two political parties divided the children of Israel here in Jamaica. Fast forward now, you have Edward Siaga, I have Michael Manley, the son of Norman Manley. See? And they taught Jamaicans gang warfare. One becoming the aggressor, the other one, because of, you know what I mean, defensive purpose, did the same thing to us. Teach us to go to war with each other. And these are two devils. These are not our brethren, like with this scripture show you, make me read that again. Deuteronomy 17 and 15. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Lord thy God shall choose. One from among thy brethren shalt thou set king over thee. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother. But that is what happened. A stranger was set over us, two strangers at that. You know what I mean? And that is the foundation of the two political parties. So what I say? That is the foundation, and that is the reason why we have people that burn people out of them house and we hate each other so much. We hate each other and don't even see the root of the problem. We don't even see say, yo, these oppressors are the ones who oppressed us, and now we are trapped in an evil system where none of we can prosper and come out. A system where we used to hold down with great grandmother and father. And I hold on we to this day. And we turn the blame on each other and say, we bad mind each other. Them people are no good. You know what I mean? I be a dirty people. Them here. We are cursed one another and we suffer the same. You know what I mean? We suffer the same, we call it destruction by the same people. But we blame each other. That don't make no sense. That's why we implore our people to come to the last statutes and commandments of the Most High. Come back to your heritage. That is the only way you will come out of this mess. That is the only way you will start love each other again. If you can see that, you know what I mean, you and your people suffered together. You understand? And see that it is a certain people who cause you to suffer. And on top of that, you have to learn, say, the reason why they were able to cause you to suffer is because you broke the laws of the Most High, and the Most High allowed it to happen. But if you come back to the Most High will fight on your behalf and get rid of your enemies. You know what I mean? Because in reality, you know what we in Jamaica fight each other for? We are fight each other for the spoils, the scarcity that is here in Jamaica. It we are fight each other for. Meanwhile, the oppressor have everything in abundance. We have not to fight. Well, them fight each other regardless. Them fight each other regardless. You understand? Because of greed. But at the little spoil, the little, you know what I mean, bone we come off of the slave master table. It we there kill off each other for. And we now see say, yo, are the oppressor are the reason why we are fight for the little spoils. You understand? Alright. Alright, so I come off of that topic then now. I'll jump on a different topic. See? Remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Also leave your comments and your questions in the comment section. If you have a WhatsApp account, share the link around in the WhatsApp. You know what I mean? If you find value, if you learn from the I.S.U.P.K and the command in general, YAHANNA, don't keep it to yourself. You know what I mean? You that you learn, you know what I mean, from the I.S.U.P.K and become wise. Share it around to others. Let your brothers and your sisters know that, you know what I mean, this information exists and that they are the children of Israel and they need to come back to the last statutes and commandments too. You understand? Share it around. Alright, so we're going to jump to something now. See, we're going to prove to you that the people over here and that history supports that the people over here were brought over here in captivity, that they are the Israelites. History support that. And bear in mind, what I show you today is, you know what I mean? Firstly, let me thank Commanding General YAHANNA and the I.S.U.P.K. Without the I.S.U.P.K and Commanding General YAHANNA, the information here, it wouldn't come out. Zane, nobody wouldn't even care if it wasn't for the I.S.U.P.K. If it wasn't for the 7 heads that founded the I.S.U.P.K and passed on the knowledge to Commanding General YAHANNA, nobody would even care. You would care who you are. And watch this. Every day, you see the warriors them in the I.S.U.P.K, the soldier them in the I.S.U.P.K them come out in the streets and actually have to go to war with them own people to care about who they are. Have to, you know what I mean? Go out in the street, microphone in hand, blazing, just to get black people and Hispanics to stop and consider who they are, because we don't know who we are as a people and we don't care. That is how you know when a people is destroyed, brethren, them don't care. Brethren, you see, first day me hear say me an Israelite. Brother, I come like me get $1 million road boy. First day me hear some Israelite and I command in General YAHANNA. When I command in General YAHANNA videos me hear. And me I say, bomba. It make me feel some kind of self-worth. Zane, watch this. You see, our people, for the most part, you tell them that they are Israelite. For the most part, them don't care. And so you know, say our people destroy. You understand? And we blame the Christian church. I will show you the hand that the Christian church have to play in that as well. See? I'll give you some reference from some books, right? First, we're going to show you about the southern kingdom of Israel. And we'll show you about the black people them here in Jamaica. You understand? Who they are. See? All right. Take off my glasses. See? All right. So, this is from the book called Valley of Dry Bones, right? Which, you know what I mean, is one of those books that the I.S.U.P.K recommend. You understand? Yeah, man. So if you don't want to learn, come in at the school, you know what I mean? Come learn at the foot of the prophets. You understand? And this is page 62 and the second paragraph. Right? And it says, King John II of Portugal deported many of his Judeans to West Africa, specifically Angola. Right? So, all right. Me give you a backdrop on what take place right so. In the 1500s and the 1400s, you know what I mean, 1300s, them time, right? Many of the Jews were in Europe. Many listened to Christ when Christ said that, you know what I mean, when you see Jerusalem compassed with army, flee into the mountains. Then flee into the mountains. And some obeyed and some disobeyed. So the mountains were in Africa. So many listened to Christ and fled into Africa. You know what I mean? To live among dark-skinned people like themselves, because guess what? They had to run and live amongst dark-skinned people because the person who was persecuting them were the Romans, and the Romans are the Caucasian. They were being persecuted by Caucasian people, so them flee into Africa, listening to Christ. Those were the mountains. The mountains were in Africa. You understand? But some never listen. Some stay and get slaughtered. And some fled into Europe. You understand? Spain, Portugal, France, you know what I mean? Rome. You understand? All over Europe. So many did in a Portugal. But this was what in this time King John II in Portugal was doing. He was deporting them. Let me read. King John II of Portugal deported many of his Judeans. Who are the Judeans? Judeans are people living in Judea. Judea is a land of the Jews, or the Judah. Zin, and them call them Judeans. The Benjamites, some of the Levites, and the Judites would be considered Judeans. You understand? Let me continue reading. So he was deported, Judeans are Jews, in to West Africa and in Angola, and many settled in the West Indies, right? So many, when deported, settled in the West Indies as well. As he was deporting many of us to Africa, some of us never stay in Africa, some of us come to the West Indies. You understand? Let me continue reading. John Bigelow, who went to Jamaica in 1850, saw the offsprings of these Judeans and said that they were black. You understand? So John Bigelow, which was an oppressor, saying him visited Jamaica, and when he come to Jamaica, he saw these Jews, these Judeans. And it's a confirmation to him that, yeah, the Jews are black. Probably because, the battle that he would probably be having was that there was another set of people calling themselves Jews, and they weren't black. And these are the Khazars who converted to Judaism, which we never know no Judaism, you know. Being Jews were, you know what I mean, a birthright to us. You understand? But the Khazars, being not Jews, them convert to what they think being a Jew was and make it a religion. You understand? They were going about calling themselves Jews. You understand? Let me find that too. I'm going to just read that as well. See? Find that quick and fast. All right, so this is the book of Lost Tribes and the Promised Land. See? And this is, you know what I mean, the Khazars converting to Judaism. See? During the reign of Abd-Rahman III, word reached the court of Cordova about the existence of a nomadic people of Central Asia. Steppes called the Khazars, whose king and upper class had been converted to Judaism some 200 years before, under the circumstances that remain obscure. The Caliph First Minister Hasdai ibn Shaprut, a Jew, responded to the news by writing an exciting letter to the Khazar king. Since the first report on the Jewish Khazars had not mentioned the fact that they were converted. So, you know what I mean? The first letter where them send never mentioned, said, no, they are Jews. So, you know what I mean? Initially, they weren't considered Jews, but now them king and everybody convert to Judaism. The reason why they did this because them never want, you know what I mean, pick side between the Roman, not the Romans, the Catholics and the Muslims. You understand? Them never want to pick side between the Muslims and the Catholics because the Muslims and the Catholics were at war. You understand? So them never want to pick sides. So what them did want to do, be neutral, you know what I mean? And just call themselves something different. You understand? Yeah. So that was when the Jewish man was formed. The Jewish man. The people living in the land of Israel. No, calling themselves the Jews, but they are not the Jews. You know what I mean? And we should read a scripture there as well too. You know what I mean? So we're going to break it down, you know, just bear with me a bit, you know, you see? All right. See, let me find that scripture quick and fast. Hold on, I think we can find it quick up on the phone. See? One second. All right, that Revelations chapter 3 and verse 39. Let me read that quick and fast. Revelation 3 and 39. No, Revelation 3 and 9. I have two scripture actually. 2 and 9 and 3 and 9. See? All right, this is Revelation 3 and 9. And it said, behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee. So the Most High promised that them fake Jews they are going to come worship at our feet. You know what I mean? As a proof, he shows that him love the children of Israel. All right, let me jump to 2 and 9. See? This is what it said. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich, talking about the real Jews. See? And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. So the Most High said him know the blasphemy of them that say they are Jews and are not, but they are the synagogue of Satan. But him know the works and tribulation of the real Jews. Him know how the real Jews suffer in Jamaica but we are rich, you know what I mean, because to us, you know what I mean, the promise is given, you know what I mean. We will rule this earth. You understand? We are going to rule the earth, yeah. See? So let me just jump back to the you know what I mean? Jump back to the topic there. So John Bigelow came to Jamaica and saw Judeans. So, you know what I mean? John Bigelow found Jews in Jamaica. You understand? All right. So let me show you what was taking place. See? What was really happening to our people. And how we ended up in Africa. You know what I mean? Because when you tell a man no, sir, you know, say, we are not Africans, you must say, then how that? You know what I mean? How we finna be Africans and them take us from Africa. My you don't know what you talk about and rare. But you know what I mean? As you know what I mean, a mind we can't, you know what I mean, we can't fathom certain things. Now go get it. I'm gonna feel like say boy from them take we from Africa. We are most African. See? Not knowing the history that the Africans help get we out of Africa. The Africans help the white man ship way over here. So you understand? It's like this, see? We now live in a Jamaica, you know. You know what I mean? Suppose we were shipped out by the Chinese and brought into slavery in China. What them about say? Them people here come from Jamaicans. These are Jamaicans. But we know say we never start in a Jamaica. Before we came to Jamaica, we were in Africa. So you see, say people can relocate. People can migrate or be relocated. And before we were in Africa, we were in Europe, we were in Jerusalem. You understand? So it is not far-fetched that we were first in Jerusalem and other places before we came into Africa. To say that if you were taken from Africa, you must be African is a small-minded thing to say. It's very small-minded. And we're going to show you how we end up in Africa. You know what I mean? And this is a quote from Lost Tribes and the Promised Land by Ronald Sanders. And this is page 33. And it said, the riot set fire to the gates of the Jewish quarters, killing many of its inhabitants, forced many more to the baptismal font, and sold some of the women and children into slavery in North Africa. A few days later, a similar riot broke out in nearby Carnova. So they were kicking us out of Spain. This was happening in Spain. See? You understand? Which, you know what I mean? You can go read the book for yourself. Or better yet, come to the I.S.U.P.K. and just learn the Bible. The Bible never wrong to begin with. But we are sure, you know, say history support what we are saying. You understand? History support what we are saying. So watch this now. They were kicking our people out of Spain. You understand? And sold and selling us into slavery in Africa. Who were they selling us to? Africans. Then did I sell we to Africans, you know? The Africans had us in slavery too, you know? You understand? Not all of it, but the Africans had many of us in slavery. Let me give you one example. Ethiopia is known to be slave traders. The rest of them like to say that Haile Selassie, you know what I mean, put an end to the slave trade. But who was Haile Selassie and in Ethiopian country selling? They weren't selling Ethiopians. No country don't sell them own people in a slavery. Ethiopia was selling our people and whichever people them get them handpan. You understand? So this is what was happening. We were being sold into slavery in Africa during this time. And the tradition continue up to the time of Haile Selassie. And that our people need to understand. And it is not far-fetched that the Africans sold us to the oppressor, because many of them had us in slavery already. So all them that to do was just sell it to the oppressor, and they were slave traders. Many of these African tribes were slave traders. So we in our cities flourishing and prospering. And what they would do, they would raid our cities, or what they would do was to you know what I mean, find us lacking or catch us lacking. And when them catch us lacking, them capture we and sell we to the oppressor, because the oppressor that search we. Them that persecute us from Rome, from Jerusalem, come down to Spain, come down to Portugal, come down to Africa. And yo, the plot thickens, you know, we're gonna show you what go on. You know what I mean? I'll show you what go on. So we were sold to Africa, but not only were we sold into slavery, into the hands of the Africans, we also migrated. See? We also migrated. This is page 34. The government in Majorca sought to protect the Jews. So this is in Spain. You know what I mean? And the government sought to protect, because we were being exported, you know what I mean, or kicked out at such a high rate. So some government official wanted to protect the rights of some Jews, not all, you know. Tell you which Jews they wanted to protect. Evacuating them from the villages into the capital at the first sign of trouble, and sheltering them in the fortress there when more radical measures seemed necessary. In that maritime community, evacuation to North Africa was a readily available recourse, and some resorted to it, but without much help for the government, which was not eager to see the wealthy Jews leave the kingdom. Right, so you have wealthy Jews and they never want to leave. Some of us had money, gold, see? And some though, them never want to get selling a slavery. So them just migrated us to some part of Africa. Them just ship we out in Africa. So you have one instance where millions of us fled into Africa, which we should have read that too. You know what I mean? This is another book. You know what I mean? I will give you the proof, you know, the proof in the Bible, you know. But some people think the Bible is a fairy tale book. When the Bible record of history accurate than most history book. Let me say that again. Not accurate than most history book, you know. The Bible more accurate than all history book. The Bible is the most accurate history book. You know what I mean? And bear in mind, the Bible is not a book per se, it's a library of records or books compiled into what we now call a book. We now call it a book, but it's a book of books. It's a compilation. You know what I mean? All right, so we're going to jump to the book of From Babylon to Timbuktu. See? From Babylon to Timbuktu, page 85, paragraph 2. And it says, in the year 65 BC, see, the Roman army under General Pompey captured Jerusalem. In 70 AD, General Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state with great slaughter. During the period of the military government of Palestine, many outrages and atrocities were committed against the residue of the people. During the period from Pompey to Julius, it has been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa. This is where it started. 70 AD, when our kingdom was destroyed, see? We fled into Africa. Many of us, 1 million of us, and this is just an estimation, probably much more. You understand? Much more. This is just an estimation. It is estimated, it said. See? So watch this now. Many of us remember what YAHANNA said, what Christ said. You know what I mean? When you see Jerusalem compassed with armies flee into the mountain, and we fled into Africa, not everybody followed Christ though. Some stayed and them get slaughtered. The Romans persecute, surrounded Jerusalem and kill off the people. Some of them fled into other European countries. And these were the ones who ended up in Spain and were being deported to Africa and sold into Africa. You understand? Very important information. You know, they never tell you about this. You know what I mean? Your so-called, what I call it, black conscious leader where you watch on YouTube. You see? Where you don't do no real research for yourself, you know, you just listen to these black conscious leaders. You just listen to them, you know what I mean? What they're saying so nice because it don't come with laws that you have to keep. You know what I mean? You can still be a faggot. You know what I mean? You can be a batty boy. You see? Because when you follow Africa, Africa not tell you say you can't, you know what I mean, be a homosexual. You understand? You can be a sodomite. See? When you follow Africa. You know what I mean? You can be a thief. You can be a murderer. You can burn down people's house and slaughter people. Yeah, man, when you're African, that's what the African them known for. See? You know, have to keep the law that say you have to love your brother and your sister. That's why I love Africa. I love Africa because Africa, you know what I mean? Africa means say you can walk up and down naked as a woman. You can show all of your ass and your breasts out. You can walk up and down on the street and be a whore. That's why I love Africa. But when you follow the laws given to the children of Israel, you have to have, you know what I mean? You have to have class. You understand? The Most High gave us laws that made us a classy people. Make our sisters them classy. And not whores. But because Africa allow you to do everything, the rest of them just come preach Africa to you. So. See, you love that because following Africa means you can smoke weed and cigarette. But when you follow the Bible, you can't smoke weed and cigarette. That's why our people love Africa. Because Africans live like animals. But if you follow the records of the children of Israel, you have to live like royalty, and our people don't see themselves as royalty. Them see themselves like some bush, you know what I mean, some bushman in Africa. And we are not a bushman, we never swing from the tree. The Africans, them that swing from tree. We never swing from the tree. We never swing from the tree, Regine. Let me continue reading. Let me jump to another, you know what I mean, excerpt. See? I'll show you that history never consider us Africans. You know what I mean? And the Jews and Africans were not considered the same people in history. So for many of our people who talk about, let me say that correctly, the Ethiopians and Jews were not considered the same people according to history. So for many of our people, especially the ones them in the Rastafari community, who want to say that, well, you know what I mean, Selassie a Judite man, him come from the lineage of Solomon, and you know what I mean, they are the Israelites, them and reign in Ethiopia, and one bag of foolishness. We're gonna show you. But hold on a bit. See, this is what, you know what I mean, this is basically showing us now. This is the book. Let me find the thing there. Slack here. You know what I mean? This is the book, Black Image in the White Mind. See? And this is page 75. This is the first paragraph. And it said, in Cranea, I.S.U.P.K, Slakia, the word, published in 1844, Martin pointed out that both cranial and archaeological evidence show that the Egyptians were not the Negroes. Who them call the Negroes? First and foremost, who's the Egyptian? The Egyptians are the Africans. You know what I mean? Let me prove it. So, you know what I mean? Noah had 3 sons, Ham, Shem, and Japheth. Ham had 4 sons, Canaan, you know what I mean, Matazariam, which is the Egyptians, Foot, you know what I mean, and who else? Let me find it. See? Let me find it quick and fast. Because, you know what I mean, we in the I.S.U.P.K, we know what we are talking about. You understand? You rather, your leaders, them rather just digest fast food information and tell you things that does, you know, anything will come to them mind. But the I.S.U.P.K and the command in general, YAHANNA, do the research, thorough research. Or we would just be saying that, you know what I mean, like the fake Hebrew Israelites, them, we would just be saying that, no man, Israel is in Africa. But because we do real research, we realize nothing no go so. You understand? All right, so let me find You know what I mean? All right, this is Slovakia. Right, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood. You know what I mean? And one of the 8 persons to live through the flood. This is the Sandovan Pictorial Bible Dictionary. You know what I mean? So it basically gives you all of the thing them, all of the definition them to the Bible terms, right? Let me continue reading. See? And one of the 8 persons to live through the flood, he became the progenitor of the dark races. So became the progenitor of the dark races. Meaning all of the dark-skinned people, them, the well dark-skinned people, them come from See? Let me continue reading. Not the Negroes, which is basically what this is saying. But let me show you. Let me show you where it connects to this. Here's what it said. Not the Negroes, but the Egyptians, the Ethiopians, the Libyans, and the Canaanites. So the Ethiopian them, with the rest of them love. See? The Canaanites them, which is the South Africans, the Libyans, all of them come from one lineage. But not the Negro. Who is the Negro? The Negro was brought into slavery. Not the Egyptians. Not the Ethiopians. The Ethiopians, them did a sell slave. Not the Libyans. And not the Canaanites. You understand? Not the Canaanites. But the Negroes. The Negroes were being sold into slavery. You understand? And this is what this book is saying. This book, The Black Image in the White Mind, page 75, it said, cranial and archaeological evidence show that Egyptians were not Negroes. So the Egyptian them, as confirmed in the Pictorial Bible Dictionary, they are not the Negroes. And you have a, you know what I mean, this big thing right now where our people like to say that we are Egyptians and them wear the ankh around them neck and, you know what I mean, them like to say, boy, them come from Kemet, the Egyptian them. The Egyptian them have us in slavery. Let me show you. See? It said the Egyptian them is not the Negroes. As abolitionists and colonizationists had maintained, this was a time of Reconstruction in America, when you have the abolitionists who believed in the abolition of slavery. I have the what I call it now, you have the Slovakia, the colonizationists, which believe that we should be migrated back to where them get we from Africa. Them did want to send we back to Africa because we build up America so good now. Them don't want to share America with we now. So them want to send we back to Africa. You understand? But these two groups agreed that we were not the Egyptians. You understand? And that in fact, blacks, which were the Negroes, them call the Negroes blacks. Them don't call the Africans them blacks, you know. Because them never have Africans in a slavery to call the Africans them black. It was a term where them put upon the slaves. So even though the Africans them have dark skin And them did a talk to when them say black people. Them that talk about the people them who them did have in a slavery, them don't know the Africans them. Them know we because we build up them country under forced labor. So them call we black as a racist terminology. But them don't know nothing about the Libyans and the Egyptians and the Ethiopians. They don't know them. When them say black, them not talk about them. And nowadays, Rastaman and them people, they want to say, boy, you black people in Africa. Yeah, them dark skin yet, but when white people are referred to black people, them not talk about Egyptians, and them not talk about Libyans, and them not talk about the Canaanites, and them not talk about the Ethiopians, them, which are the Africans. That is all of the Africans, them, divided in 4 groups: Libyans, Egyptians, Ethiopians, and Canaanites. But when white people say black people, are you them attack? Not them. Them don't know them. They never enslaved them. You understand? So this I tell us now, watch you know. As abolitionists and colonizationists had maintained, and that the fact that blacks had been relegated to the same servile position in ancient Egypt. Them are confirmed what the Bible say. The Egyptians them have us in slavery. This is the book, the Black Image in the White Mind. Go check it out. Or rather yet, come to the I.S.U.P.K and learn the Bible. Because the Bible never wrong. So these racist oppressors say, as a matter of fact, them people here who are having a slavery today, them did in slavery in Egypt. That is what I just read. So if the white man say, we did enslave in Egypt too, who the Egyptian them did have in a slavery? The Jews, the Israelites. You understand? The white man knows say are the Israelite them him having a slavery. Them just never tell you because telling you now is a problem. Telling you means that the Bible is talking about you. And if the Bible is talking about you, then the Bible is not for nobody else. It's about you and for your people. The oppressor don't want you know that. That's why them stop we from reading the Bible. That's why them cut we are from history. And that is why them beat we down in the ground. And that is why we suffer today no matter what. We suffer today no matter what. You understand? Because the point is them have to hold you down. You understand? All right. Anyway. All right, let me jump to something else. See? I jump to another excerpt. All right, so we read from Babylon to Timbuktu. See? We read John Bigelow came to Jamaica and saw the Jews, the Judites. See? We read. All right, so we're going to jump to something different now. Right? And a whole heap of things, you know, we're not going to read all of it still. Not going to read everything. I think, one day, most I allow, you know what I mean? I don't want scholar like that, but trust me, the I.S.U.P.K we turn you in a scholar. The I.S.U.P.K and a command in general, will turn you into a scholar. Because the information will come out. Brethren, the information of the I.S.U.P.K, you see, if you want to become a better person, you know what I mean? A person with, you know what I mean, of a higher standard than you were in the world, come to the I.S.U.P.K, man. Teach you to be almost like, you know what I mean, diplomatic. You understand? You have some information where You know what I mean? You have to go a certain school to learn. You learn political, you know what I mean, information. You learn politics. You learn, and we are not politicians, not get it twisted. See? You learn race affair, you know what I mean? Yeah, man, you learn one heap of things. I.S.U.P.K, man, we turn a regular ghetto youth in a scholar youth. You understand? Forward, man, we wanna wait, pan. You know what I mean? We're afraid of. Anyway. All right, so we have one heap more information we can bring out, see? But we'll show you about the Northern Kingdom brothers now. So now we'll go to the Bolivian people them now, with Northern Kingdom. Remember, at the start in the video, you know what I mean, we show where Canada basically disrespected Jamaicans, you know what I mean, by not depicting the Jamaican flag and independence like they promised, you understand, and show the Bolivian flag. But however, the Bolivians are our people. They are Israelites just like us. These are the native to the land of the Americas. Talking about the Indians. They call them the native Indians, the Taino Indians. You understand? You understand? The Taino Indians and you know what I mean? The Arawak Indians, the Caribs. You understand? Yeah, man, all of them people are Israelites. I will show you, say, not only the oppressor did know this, but the initial Christian doctrine, them teach in the initial Christian doctrine that these people were Israelites. And as a matter of fact, the reason why them kill them and slaughter them was because they were the Israelites. Let me say that again. See? Early Christians killed the Indians them because they were the Israelites in the Bible. So Christianity, job and motivation was to kill out the Israelites them. All right, let me just read that quick and fast. See, this is the Lost Tribes and the Promised Land, page 188, and it said, Duran lived during a time when apocalyptic hopes flourished in some parts of the New World. But these were the hopes of a militant, even if sometimes orthodox, you know what I mean, Catholicism. You know what I mean? So this Duran was a Franciscan friar or a Catholic, somewhat like a priest. You understand? Them believe in a more apocalyptic, you know what I mean, type of Christianity. You know what I mean? A more radical Christianity. So you see Christian church, the clapping and the singing today, and not Christianity that pretty. The clapping and the singing where you see today is not Christianity. The praise Jesus and the tambourine and all of them things there. That is your Christianity. That is not the oppressor Christianity. Even the white man today, fame Christianity means that him have the right for bear arms. Him have the right for bear arms, for having firearm. And when you're looking at the regular Christian oppressor, white man house, you see beer AR-15 and AK-47 and one bag of something. So you're dancing and you're singing what you're doing at the Christian church. That is not Christianity. That is the slave Christianity. In this time when I read about, Slakia, in this time when I read about, see, Christian more believe in a more radical Christianity. Just like how the oppressors Christianity today is radical. But your Christianity is singing and dancing and shaking at the church. Zin, let me read. So, in Peru, this is talking about South America, you know what I mean? Right next to, you know what I mean? Bolivia. The same Bolivian flag with the Canadian, you know what I mean? People, Canadian government perched at Niagara Falls and some Jamaica's flag. Our brothers, they might try to put a wedge between us, probably. But we not this the Bolivians. Because just like the Peruvians them, but This I say Peru. So this was in Peru, see? In the 1560s and the 70s, a Dominican friar called Francisco de la Cruz had declared himself the Messiah of New World Christianity, which had to fight a war to the death against the Indians. Listen, in order to bring the final redemption, because they were the lost tribes of Israel. The Indians in Peru, not only them, all of the Indians them from South America, Central America to North America. Early Christianity knew that they were the Israelites. As a matter of fact, their doctrine taught them that them have to kill them off. Them have to fight a war to the death because they are Israelites. So them can bring what word of them use. So them can bring the final redemption. So in order for them bring in the kingdom of heaven, as the Christians at that time believe, them have to kill out the Israelites them. So when we tell you that Christopher Columbus knew what he was doing, that he knew that the Israelites were over here, it wasn't accident. Him know. Them know say the Taino Indians, they are the Israelites, the Most High chosen people in the Bible. And them know say the black people who were living at the west coast of Africa, who did not originated from Africa, who fled from Jerusalem, they knew that we were the Israelites. Them say it. So when we tell you say that was the case, we have a facts. And we are sure you say, you see the Christianity that you are a part of right now, you're a part of a deep and dark and sinister religion that you don't even know. You see the Bible, you see the Bible, it talk about the children of Israel. I want to read the Bible in our church. Though, you see Christianity when it just started, their job was to kill the people in the Bible. The people that the Bible talk about, Christianity's duty was that their zeal was to get rid of the people them where the Bible talk about. Get rid of God people, which was you and the Taino brothers and the Native Indian brothers and the Arawak brothers and the Carib brothers, which are the Latino and the Native Indians. So, all you for in our religion, we start off by killing out your people, and them duty was to kill you and make sure so you don't remember say you are the Israelites. Let me ask you a question. Who are you today? Jamaicans? Are you Jamaicans? Who are you? Me I tell you say you are the Israelite. Me I tell you today, the I.S.U.P.K and the commanding general YAHANNA, I tell you, say you are the Israelites, and the reason why you don't know is because of Christianity. The Christians them come and kill off the Israelite them and slaughter them and put them in a slavery. And then make you don't remember say you're Israelite by taking away your culture. That's why we are give back your culture. We are tell you say you are not, no, you know what I mean? You are not just a filthy black person. We are trying to tell you say you are just more than a nigger. And you are more than a speak. You are the most high chosen people. That's why you're so creative. That's why you create reggae music. That's why you create dancehall, mentor, R&B. That's why you create all of the technology in the earth and you don't get the credit for it because the slave master claim it and say him invent this when you invent it. That is the reason why you build up Jamaica, you build up Britain, you build up America, you build up all of the West and the East and everywhere else. And don't get the credit. And you're still in a slavery. You're still hang out on the roadside and smoke weed and cigarette and a drink, get yourself drunk. Till you don't know yourself. Because you really don't know yourself. But you are the chosen people of the Most High. History support it. Bible support it and archaeology support it. But you don't know who you is. And your brethren will sit alongside and you don't know neither. And him mother and him granny don't know. And him father and him grandfather don't know. Because of slavery. But we are sure to say you're not the Israelite brethren. Yashar Allah in the Hebrew, which means Prince of the Power or Son of God. We are trying to tell you now, you're not an African. You is not an African. The African is here to know like poison. But you wouldn't know because you never left the ghetto. You never left the garrison. You don't know nothing. And you don't read. You don't read. You don't left the garrison and you don't read. All you do is buy ore. And catch, brethren. Now is the time, brethren, for you to stop live like how the oppressor want you to live. And come to your culture so you can be great. Because guess what go on now? The oppressor fall. World War III. Your Christian pastor not tell you nothing about that. Your Obia man not tell you nothing about that. World War III, brethren. They're your doorstep. What that mean? Nuclear destruction. And that in the Bible. I will bring it out every day. Every single day we bring it out. Come out of the Christian church and come into the Bible. If you read the Bible, you don't know what go on. But guess what? You can't learn the Bible by yourself. You have to come to the I.S.U.P.K. under commanding General YAHANNA. We will break it down for you easily. So we just read, say, yo, this Spaniard who was a Christian was killing our native Indian brothers. Killing them because they were the Israelites, because them descend from the Israelites. And he was this friar mean like a priest, a Catholic priest. See? And his job was to kill out the Israelites. So you guess why Christianity don't teach us so you are the Israelite? Because Christianity's job is to kill out the Israelites. That was the formula that the oppressor come up with. After the king give up him life, the Romans them create a religion called Christianity. And them use that Christianity there to absorb our information in the Bible to claim that it is about them and not you. Meanwhile, they might kill you and persecute you. To this day. That's why now it reach a point even worse now. You are kill your own people. You understand? We could have read, yo, me have so much information right so. You understand? But we have left that to our next class. Remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, also leave your comments. You understand? And if you have questions, just leave it in the comment section. You understand? Share upon all social media platforms as well. You know what I mean? We're upon TikTok. We're upon Instagram. We're upon YouTube. We're upon Facebook. Yeah, we even have a WhatsApp group. You understand? If you leave your number, if you message us your number, you know what I mean? Or if you request to be added to that group, we can add it to the group. And share the videos them and share the information them. You understand? And with that, we're going to jump to some security announcements. You understand? I run over the time, I know. Still not get to read some things, but that's why you go another time. You understand? On a joke time, we live in a right now, in a region. On joke time, this, you know. You see, the Bible describes this time as the worst time in our history. And we read the Bible and see how much atrocity going in our history. And you tell me, say, yo, no, the worst time. You don't see nothing yet. You don't see nothing yet, man. Go on fun and games, man. Go on play. Go on play with the Most High. Coronavirus, first plague where the Most High send. You know him send monkeypox. Something else are forward. I will tell you every day. More plagues are come. You hope your man now tell you that. All him do is tell you people business. Your Christian pastor now tell you that. All him do is take your money. Your gathering can't save you from the coronavirus and it can't save you from monkeypox. Now is the time for come out of the idolatry. Because idolatry, that Christianity and idolatry. Yo, right now, let me tell you something. You see, Christianity, if you're a Christian, you're a traitor to your own people. Because Christianity's job, as confessed by this Catholic priest, so we just read, say his job was to kill all the people and what the Bible talk about. A war to the death. Your pastor is a traitor. And then put him there. If you notice how much Christian church in the garrison. Every corner. One day a Dan man corner. One day a ghetto top. One day a gully banks. One day a dirt road. More than one day a dirt road. All Obia man of church. And the crime rate can't go down. Because of Christianity are the problem. Christianity are the problem. Early Christians were your oppressor, and now you oppress your own people. And now you are the pastor. Anyway, we jump to the security announcement. All right, these are the I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Under commanding General YAHANNA. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or a sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or a sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or a sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, you can find this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18 and 21, and Malachi, chapter 3, verse 8 to 10, which means tenth in the Hebrew and is pronounced ma'aishara. 10% of every penny of every increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you'd like to give. Upcoming holy convocation, that is the memorial of the blowing of the trumpets That is what the Most High gave to the children of Israel, our foreparents. You understand? He never give with Christmas. He never give with Valentine's Day. He never give with Easter. It is Christianity who gave you these holidays. Them call it holiday, but the Most High gave us holy days, which Christianity just plagiarized the Most High term and call it holiday when it is holy day. Easter is the celebration of a pagan god. When you celebrate Easter, you know what I mean, and more problems per year than the garrison. More curse. When you celebrate Christmas, Christmas is the worship of Nimrod. If you celebrate Christmas, you get more curse. Valentine's Day is the celebration of another idolatrous god. More curse. The Most High never give you that. You can't do that. You don't have a choice. You can't do it. You understand? So the Most High gave us, one of the Most High holy days are the memorial of the blowing of the trumpet. You know what I mean? This is the first day of the 7th month. And this will be held on Sunday, the 25th of September. So just go to I.S.U.P.K for YouTube. You know what I mean? Tune in, lock in with I.S.U.P.K. You understand? Lock in with I.S.U.P.K. and celebrate the memorial of the blowing of the trumpet. You understand? You can find this in the book of Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 24 and 25. Reminding Akiam and Akwatiam to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for I.S.U.P.K events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he needs to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirts, pants, headband, or scarf. And with that, we say, I marry him, which means to stand. We're going to say the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew and then in English. But first, turn and face the east, or Sar, Wapanya Akwadam, which means turn and face the east in Hebrew. We're going to say the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabashamaya, Kwadash, Aya, Shamka, Yahawa, Malakwatka, Taba'a, Matazaka, Aya, Aisha, Baharataza, Kawa, Aya, Bashamayam, Natan Lanawa, Lakam, Kal, Yawam, Wasalak Lanawa, Kawabwat Nawa, Kasalak Nawa, Kawabwatanawa, Wala'a, Tabaya Anawa, Banasayawan, Abal, our Shainawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Amalakwat, Wa'ala, Wa'ataparat, La Iwalamiam, Aman. In the English, our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever, so be it. Amen. This is the prayer for the power, Salakia. This is the prayer for the curses in the Salakia, English. Blessed are you, Yahweh, King of heaven and earth, and all things living. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, listen to us now, right now. Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction to the heathen that speak against us, thy prophets, the teachers, the princes, the priests, the Israelite brothers, and the school. Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction to the heathen and shake loose the treasures of the rich of Israel that refuse to give to the school. Force their riches to enter into thy sanctuary. Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction to the Edomites and the nations and their drug dealers, the court system, the prison system, Planned Parenthood, Amalek synagogues and army. Slakia, all the governments of our enemies, Amalek synagogues and armies, Roman Catholic Church, Pope, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Ku Klux Klan, Aryan Nation, skinheads, Pasikomotazi, the gay movement, the lesbian movement, spies, workers of witchcraft, NASA space program, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Wall Street, open up the internet and the airways, the cable access channels and the radio channels. Convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us and bring swift destruction to all the heathen that stand in the way or try to stop us from broadcasting your words throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues, cause them to go to and fro through the earth and consume them. Let the plagues shake the house of the thief and the murderer. Let YAHANNA, Michael, and Gabriel come down with the flying saucers and punish all the heathens that come up against us as we speak thy word. Cause it to be known by all that it is the angels that has done it. Cause it to be spread through the earth, Slakia, through the media, through the whole world. Cause them to shake at thy coming. In the name of YAHANNA. Thank you always, so be it. All right, this is the prayer for the power. In the Hebrew, Yahweh, Ba'asham YAHANNA, Baba Kwasha, Nathan Lanawa, Hakak, Hakak, Larapa'a, Kalmakala, Wakal Marawa, Hakak, Lata'ar, Amatazarayam, Hakak, Lahakwayam, Amathiam, Hakak, Irakawat, Atama'ala, Lagarashan, Ba'asham YAHANNA, Tuwada Aman, in the English, Yahweh, in the name of YAHANNA, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out in the name of YAHANNA. Thank you, so be it. All right, this is the prayer for the blessings to bless Israel. Yahweh, Ba'asham YAHANNA, Baraklanawa, Wayasharala, Wa'a, Bayat Sapariam, Barak, Rapa'a, Magan, Hagan, Commanding General YAHANNA, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, the young men and the sisters, Ba'asham YAHANNA, toward our man. What we said in the English was, Yahweh, in the name of Yahawashi, please give us the Slakia, bless us and Israel and the school. Bless, heal, shield, protect our loved ones. In the name of Yahawashi. Thank you, so be it. All right, sir, which means to turn. We're going to give one courtesy salute. Men of Israel, I Madim Shabbat. I Madim Barak. Yahweh Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai Barakatam. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, I Madim Shabbat. I Madim Barak. Yahweh Shamar Alatan Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai. Yadi Mata. Class dismissed. Alright, remember, like the video, subscribe to the channel, you know what I mean? Leave your comments or your questions in the comment section. Share on all social media platforms, you know what I mean? If you have a WhatsApp account, as I said, just blast it, you know what I mean? Or create a group and add your contacts to that group and share the video to that group, you know what I mean? As well, share on Facebook in groups, you know what I mean? In Facebook groups, you know what I mean? Spam the groups, you understand? Yeah, man. And come out of the Christian church, because as we bring out, you know what I mean, I'm going to do this in a shorter video as well. You know what I mean? Christianity is founded upon the execution of the children of Israel. Christianity hold up the Bible, but they are founded upon the killing of the people in the Bible. I want to understand that. And with that, shalom.